Feeling overwhelmed? Searching for someone who truly gets it? At J. Branch and Associates, we provide mental health support for BIPOC communities, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and others facing unique challenges. We understand the weight of generational trauma, the struggles of identity, and the pressures of being a part of an underestimated and overlooked group. At J. Branch and Associates, therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all. We create a safe, culturally aware space where you can feel seen, heard, and understood. Finding a therapist who truly fits you matters, and that's exactly what we're here for. Our team of highly trained licensed therapists bring compassion, empathy, and real-world experience to help you on your journey to healing and growth. We're committed to helping you become the best version of yourself. Ready to take the next step? Visit us at www.drjbranch.com for more information, or call or text 404-436-2540 to schedule your free 15-minute consultation. You can also book your first session today. Thank you for choosing J. Branch and Associates, therapists of color providing exceptional care to BIPOC communities, quality service, exceptional care from authentic professionals.
Three parallels. Yeah. Three parallels. Yeah. Three parallels.
Three Parallel Podcast. Come take this walk with me.
Welcome back to the Three Parallels Podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we discover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. Ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, I got a show for you today. I got a show for you. I'm telling you, first of all, for those who listening, it's Black History Month. Let's just put it all the way out there, okay? And I'm Black, and I don't mind representing us. And I have a lot to say. And today's episode is going to be heavy. It's going to be deep. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be good. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. So if it ain't, let me know. Man, that Black History Month episode was trash. Where's White History Month? Somebody said it. Somebody said it. And that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you're here, person. So let's dive in, man. I got some things to share. And this is the first time I'm sharing it at this level. And I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. I will never be alone with this. And we all have lived experiences, and many of us have similar lived experiences, no matter who we are, where we are, what we're doing. It's a part of the fabric of our country, our society, our culture, you name it. It's just a part of it. And it will always be a part of it until, until. So I want to dive in, man. And this is tough for me, and it's therapeutic as well, because I'm sharing my story. But it's tough to share it every time because it takes me to places that I used to be. And it takes me back to a person that I used to be that I'm not anymore. So this episode will definitely peel back the layers of three parallels of who I was, who I am, and who I'm becoming, specifically related to being a Black male in these United States. Shout out to Cornell West. Can't wait to have him on the show. So yeah, I don't often share these pieces, because everybody can't handle it. Everybody's not okay. Everybody can't accept it. Like they can't. It's hard to put the two worlds together. And what I mean by the two worlds is who I am personally and who I am professionally. So if you know me in a professional setting, yeah, this background is not working for me right now. So this is happening live. I have a horrible background happening via Zoom. I'm trying to pay homage and pay tribute to Black History Month, but this background is not working for me, and it's messing up my chi. So y'all know it's Black History Month. For those on YouTube, I'm finna change my screen. For those listening, pardon the interruption. So I love this show. If you don't, stop listening. Okay. I love it. I'm a fan and I'm on it. I do it, but I love it. And I mean, you gotta love it too, because there's no way I'm loving this by myself. There's no way. Even if I am, I'm having the best time ever. So back to what I was saying, because I'm trying to multitask right now and I'm not great at it. And I'm honest about it. So boom, here we go. We're in the city now. We be in the city. Hey, 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 hey. All right, back to it. So, story time. Um, did you notice it is Black History Month? If you didn't notice, now you know. And I think it's really important for all of us to recognize Black History Month because I think it's important for us to recognize Black people. And when I say recognize Black people, that means seeing us for who we are, not who you think we are. And that's hard to do sometimes. I've been taught my whole life that black people are this or that. It's really difficult for me to see them as anything else than what I've been taught or told. And I look at Black people just like any kind of people that people are not. It's an issue or a problem based off of what they believe, what they think, what they know, what they grew up with, cultural, what's passed down from generation, you name it. There are people that have a problem with people because of who they are. Just know that. It could be you, and that's fine too. Keep listening. So when I'm unable to see people, when I'm unable to ask people who they are, then I assume who they are. Therefore, I put a label on them and they can't be anything else. So a lot of people are treated differently because of these labels that somebody created. And today's episode going to talk about a lot of these layers. And we're going to spend a little time doing it. So kick back, get your notebook, get your coffee, tea, whatever you're drinking. We finna go on a ride, finna go on a journey. And I'm going to learn something as well as you because I've never been here before. So let's go. People have a habit of telling you who you are. And I want to give some examples of some bad habits people have. So this is the beginning or the origin of the black box. Now you heard in the previous episode from Mr. Lewis that he developed his own black box, and the reason why he developed his black box, and I kind of planted that seed for him years ago. So I want to share the story of how the black box came to be, and how it came to existence was I was a intern at a school in Ohio. Yeah, I was. I want to be mindful of names. I'm sure you can find out whatever you want, but I don't want to share um, too many details. Also, know that some of the names and items, articles of this episode may be changed for discretion and respect, privacy, confidentiality, whole nine. So know that. And this is not a substitute for therapy. Get your therapist. Okay, so back to again. I hope you're having a good time because I am. Okay, back to the story. So I was an intern at a university in Ohio, and as an intern, I was actually doing my assistantship, which means I was a professor at this institution part time. So as a part time professor, I got all the privileges of professors, even though I was a doc student. So I'm a doc student doing my internship, working at this institution, and I go pull up to the institution to teach that Pacific night. And when I pulled up to the gate, my ID didn't let me in. There was a bar there, and the ID didn't work for whatever reason. So I get to the gate, and the woman's like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And I'm like, uh, "Yeah, I'm trying to get in the gate." And she was like, "Yeah, I don't think you supposed to be over here." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" She said, "Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to be over here. Basically, I don't know where you're supposed to be, but you're not supposed to be over here." I'm like, still confused. "Excuse me? What do you mean?" She said, "Yeah, dude, what business do you have here?" I said, "I'm actually a professor here." And she said, "No, no, I don't think you're that. You can't be a professor here." I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah. Um, do you have any ID? Anything to prove or show that you actually work here?" And I pulled my ID out, my university ID that showed that I was a professor there. And her whole tone and tune changed immediately, instantly. And it hurt because the evidence concludes to me that because of how I look, there's no way I could be teaching at this institution in this specific building. There's no way. That's what she assumed because of her beliefs. Because me being Black must mean something, anything outside of me being a professor. And I went to class that night and it crushed my soul. It tore me apart because I didn't think at this level. I have a PhD now. I'm licensed. I got a full practice. I'm doing well. I'm balling. I can't believe, regardless of my money, what I'm driving, regardless of any of that, it doesn't matter. This particular person saw me as one or two things or less. What she didn't see me as is actually who I was. Again, some people have a habit of telling you who you are. And because of the old me, that's who I once was, when I discovered who he was, to overcome that and like it bothered me so much I could barely get through class. It was a struggle. And that struggle was just disbelief. Like I'm earning I got mine. Like I'm doing really, really well. Like, wow, just disbelief. So it took me some time to kind of process what happened, and I recognized it later. Okay, I think that was racism. I think microaggressions. I think, the reality is I know, but maybe I'm off. I don't know, but I find evidence to conclude otherwise. So from that experience, it crushed me. It left me empty. It left me broken, and I had to in this institution predominantly white. So this is what I'm dealing with, and this institution doesn't have a lot of Black professors across the board, just like any university. Look it up. Don't ask me. Or you can ask me too. That's fine. But look it up. Don't trust what I say. Okay. I mean, trust it, but don't just trust what I say. Go look it up for yourself. Okay. Look at any institution in these United States and see the percentage of Black men that are teaching there across the board. Let me know what you come up with. So, this is why this person who's working at the booth that didn't want to open the gate up for me to enter into the parking lot, she couldn't see me as any. There's no way you're teaching here. Evidence and conclude. So from that experience, I started collecting data, and that data was anything of Blackness that uplifted me. So I created a playlist. This is why y'all got access to the playlist. I got a soundtrack to my life with music. So I created a playlist right then and there. It's called the Black Box. And in the Black Box, start off James Brown. I'm Black and I'm proud. First song, bop, let's go. I'm Black and I'm proud. That's why that's on the playlist. That's the first song. And I just went to as many Sounds Blackness, Soul Holiday. That's the blackest song you can ever. Anytime you hear it, you're going to see a Black person just show up. You play the song, I'm telling you, look behind you. Look to your left, your right. There's going to be a Black person somewhere around you, or they're going to show up in your dreams. You're going to see us. Anytime that song plays, just know this, y'all getting to know me. Anytime that song plays, I just feel warmth in a kitchen and food cooking and Nana, grandma with them heels. Like it feels like home. So Soul Holiday by Sounds of Blackness. Go check it out. It's on the playlist. So these songs uplifted me. It reminded me of how great I am by being Black, and not just because I'm Black, but I'm great as I am. And I happen to be Black. I'm the shit who happens to be Black. Like, I see me. I need other people to do the same. But sometimes you have to reintroduce yourself to people. But before you ever reintroduce yourself to anybody else, you got to reintroduce yourself to yourself. Come on, church. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to teach. You can do whatever you choose to do with me and whatever the hell I got to say, because I'm going to say it. Why? Because I've been quiet for too damn long. Just like many of y'all listening. I'm stepping on toes. And I don't apologize. Okay. Know that. You got a problem? Take it up with HR. Fire me. Let's see what happens. Cancel your boy. Okay. Let's keep going. So that black box was everything that just brought comfort to me. So music was those number one things. And then food, I would find different food that just brought comfort. Macaroni and cheese, like all day comfort for me. I can't speak for nobody else. Fast foods, comfort. It's the worst thing in the world for me, but it's comfort, you know. So I just start finding comfort. Black movies. I'm going straight to, Netflix and Tubi. What's the blackest movie I can find? The cast need to be all black. Everybody black. So I just start grabbing things around me that was black and that related to my culture and my upbringing, my background, and it made everything okay. It made what happened to me that day okay, meaning it happened, and I responded the way I did and I moved on. The black box was created because of it. So here we are. Let's fast forward some years later, several years later, where now I'm a professor, um, associate at this point. Yep. hmm fully licensed, private practice, multiple states, just doing his thing, right? And and I'm in California, and I was shocked by what I experienced because growing up and being in the South, it was kind of a norm, but being in California, I expected it wouldn't be. But that was my expectation. That's not the reality because the reality is people have a habit of telling you who you are. So this particular Sunday, and as you all know, every day I do something new, different, uncomfortable. And if you don't know, you know now. Okay. So every day I do something new, different, uncomfortable. Why? Because I encourage you to do the same thing. And what I decided to do this particular Sunday, because I was sharp, your boy was nice. Went to church. I mean, I'm suited and booted, bow tie, you know, gray suit, uh, blue and white pinstripe shirt, a red and blue bow tie. I mean, your boy was nice. Some nice cologne. I was feeling myself. So much so after church, I decided I'm gonna go to the high end. I'm gonna go to the high dollar spot. I'm gonna go. I'm not far from a wealthy community, wealthy neighborhood. So I'm like, I'm gonna go up in there, just ride around, go to the mall, just hang out, cause I'm feeling like a millionaire right now. So I go in, sharp. Your boy was sharp, like one of my aunties would tell you. I was sharp. I walk up in there like I just want to get some new cologne, just look around, whatever. And I go to Nordstrom, which I never go. I'm a TJ Maxx Marshalls dude. Don't judge. So stepping out my comfort zone is going to Nordstrom, as some people say, Nordy, the ones that go. I just learned that. But Nordstrom, I decided I'm gonna go here, just check some stuff out. So I go and I'm looking around, doing my thing, shopping. And I get to the department store and I'm picking up shoes. I'm looking at shoes, like see some nice shoes. And this lady comes up next to me, white lady comes up next to me, and she said, "Hey, could you tell me where the men's shirts are?" And I said, "Excuse me?" And she said, "Yeah." She doubled down. I said, could you tell me where the men's shirt is?" And I said, "Ma'am," and I gave her a look of just pure disgust. "Ma'am, I don't work here." And she looked at me in pure disgust, like, "You don't?" Mind you, I felt like $1,000,000. After that experience, I felt like nothing, crushed again. Because for her, she couldn't see me as anyone shopping there. The only place I had in Nordstrom was to work there. Regardless of my credentials, regardless of my accolades, it does not matter. The only reason you're here is because you work here. She couldn't see me for anything else. And it crushed my soul. I left them all that day. I went to my car and I had a moment. I couldn't move. A moment of hurt, a moment of inspiration. I had both because you can have two. There's always two sides of the coin. Shout out to Uncle Myron. So I was hurt because this woman, no matter my credentials, my accolades, no matter whatever I have, this woman only saw me as a person that can work there, no matter how clean and fresh and nice I was. Like that hurt me. And the other side, it inspired me of it hurt me when I hurt myself, thinking of I allowed this woman to stop me from living my best life. I allowed a comment to be said, whatever. I didn't have the ability to say anything back. I just left, just walked out. Only thing telling her was who I wasn't, and I don't work here. There was no apology. There was no, I think she may have figured it out later. But immediately it was nothing. It was just like I was in the wrong. Like you wrong. Like, what? You do work here. Hush. That was the look. Like I was in the wrong. This is real life, y'all. Like real talk, man. Black people deal with this shit, not just black people. People deal with this shit all the time. Okay. It's not a big deal. The only people that mainly don't is white folks. Why? White privilege. It exists. It's a privilege to walk around and not worried about somebody assuming you are something that you're not. That's a privilege. I don't have that. You heard two stories already that show you. I don't care how much who you are, what you are. People look at your race or your culture, your background, or whatever, and make assumptions and judgments and treat you as that without asking, but telling you who you are. She didn't ask me anything. She told me, hey, sir, point me to the shirts. Even though you're shy, point me to the shirts. So, inspired was the other piece. And that inspiration was, I will never allow that to happen to me again. I will never allow somebody to put their stuff on me. When they give it to me, I'm giving myself permission on this day to give it back. I said that in that car. I'm in that car having conversations with my old self and my current self, and we duking it out. Because my old self is telling me, you don't say that to this, you don't do this, you don't do that. And what are people going to think? That's my old self. My current self, fuck that. Try it again. Let's go. I need another round. I'm excited at this point. I'm sad and I'm excited at the same time because I can't wait till somebody come to me and tell me who I am. And then it happened. So these three stories happened years apart, but this next story was in the same year, a couple months later. So from that experience, I started practicing what I call black privilege. And to me, black privilege, y'all got to excuse me, getting a little tongue twisted. This is not okay. Talk about racism, the trauma, my God, I can't even talk. I'm trying to talk to y'all. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's push the trauma back in the basement where it belongs. Oh, when you understand it, it's funny. When you don't, you get upset. So shout out if you laughing with me. Shout out to you if you upset. Turn it off. Okay. 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 So um that that inspiration hit me of this will never happen again. And it happened again a few months later. But it happened again, and the reality is I was prepared. I was prepared because of this new concept I call black privilege. And black privilege is stripping away the layers of beliefs and ideas that may have been taught or told to me growing up that worked for me to get me to this place, but they may harm me in order to go further. So an example of that, I'll let people in on. I'll let you in. So for some people, excuse me, black people, specifically black men, we were taught different ways to live, to stay safe or to stay alive. And a lot of those things kept us where we are. But now there's things that pull us back or hold us back. So, for example, with this woman, number one was respect. There was respect for a woman, period. Um, so there was a level of respect. And for me, I felt as though if I said anything, it would have been disrespectful because of my belief about myself that I'm aggressive. That's not true. But if that's what I was taught and told, that's what I believe, I will do whatever I can to make myself seem less aggressive. So my assumption is I got a full suit on and a bow tie. I can cause no harm. That was my belief. I can cause no harm. It wasn't what I was wearing. It was what I looked like. My belief is what I wore provided me with an extra layer of protection. The reality is it didn't matter what I was wearing. She told me who I was. So Black privilege is standing in front of these moments and having a conversation with someone to tell them who I actually am. That's what Black privilege looks like. It's not walking away. It's not turning the shoulder. It's not ignoring it. It's not, saying nothing and then losing it on the other side. It's not that anymore. Black privilege is I have the privilege to reintroduce myself to you because obviously you don't know who the fuck I am. Let me tell you. And I had that moment. I had the moment. So months later, I'm training. I'm doing a lot of Black privilege things. I'm not moving out of the way of white people. I'm walking straight. If you bump into me, hey, what's up? Okay. I'm not apologizing for being who I am. I'm not trying to make myself seem less aggressive by wearing a shirt, a button down shirt or tie. I'm wearing whatever I feel comfortable in. I'm wearing whatever I want to wear. Even in the classroom, I'm practicing Black privilege by wearing a pair of Jordans with a blazer on in the classroom. That's Black privilege because it doesn't matter what I wear anyway to some people. So I'm going to wear what I want. And I do it because of Black privilege. Fast forward, opportunity knocks. So by this time, part of my black box, I start adding different songs. And the first song on the Three Parallels podcast playlist is Jay-Z's public service announcement from the Black album. And that song start playing. Allow me to reintroduce myself. The thong. It go to the playlist, play the song. That song started playing. I want y'all to, this is the background of what was happening. That song started playing soon as the interaction happened. So I'm walking around Lake with my boys. And there's this white couple that came up to me. We were walking opposite paths. We was walking around Lake, walking opposite path. Now there was people that passed this couple, but they didn't stop them. They didn't say anything to them. And then they walk up to us and stop me. Hey, how's it going? Going all right, sir. Can I help you with something? And at the time I was rocking an Auburn sweatshirt. And he said, hey, did you play football at Auburn? I said, no, sir. Did you play? No, I didn't play, but I just, did you play in the NFL? No, sir. Do you? No, no. Did you ever used to play football? And he couldn't see anything outside of me, then I must play football if I'm rocking a sweatshirt. I couldn't be anything else because he asked 3 different questions all related to football, which means student wasn't one. Professor was definitely not one. Football. So this was my moment, and I'm hearing the song in the background. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, and I let this man have it in the most respectful and professional way possible. I reintroduced myself to him, and I told him who I was. No, sir, I got my doctorate from Auburn University. Oh, Doctor, he clutched his pearls. Doctorate? Yes, sir, I did. Actually, I'm a professor at this school and this school and this school. He clutched his pearls a little tighter, like, no way, you're a professor. There's no way. Like, surprised, shocked at the same time. I say, yes, sir, I am. And I just start going down my resume, letting them know who the fuck I was. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mention parental advisory for this episode. I told you it was going to be heavy. He didn't know what to do with himself. And I looked at him and smiled. And I let him know who I was, and he knew then. And the conversation ended quite quickly after that. I was able to move on with my life with my head up. He was able to look on with life puzzled. Puzzled. And that was enough for me. That's Black privilege. And I learned how to do that. And that's what it takes. That's what Black privilege is. You have to learn how to become a better, healthier version of yourself in order to speak up for yourself. I can't speak. The old me couldn't speak up for me because the old me was afraid of what if, not what is. What if based off of what I think could happen, not what I know. And I will only know by what I do. Now, don't be out here in these streets wilding, okay? I'm not going to be able to bail you out. Dr. Brand said I need to bust you upside the head with a honey bun. Nope, not in that way, okay? So listen, y'all be safe out in these streets. It is Black History Month, which means we up, okay? we up. It's a different season. It's a different February now. We ain't never had this kind of February. Y'all slow down now. Slow down. Real talk. So anyway, it was a moment, man. It was a moment that I cherish. It was a moment of redemption. And for me, it made up for so many of those moments because I finally found my voice. I finally found my ability to speak up for myself. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really difficult to reintroduce yourself to other people if you haven't reintroduced yourself to yourself first. That's where it starts. So I had to start having conversation with me to figure out who I was, who I wanted to continue to be. And I didn't realize it or recognize it until over time, just seeing things in a new and different way. And when I start seeing things in new and different ways, it changed how I saw things, people, places, and things. And that's what I look at when I think about perspectives. Perspective allows you to look at things in more than one way. So if I'm a very black and white thinker, I can only see things black and white. But last time I checked, there's at least 50 shades of gray in between black and white. So I got 52 different options or opportunities to see some shit. That's just 52, right? Let's go a little further. Being a dad, I read a lot of books to the boys, right? And some of these books read 3,000-4,000 times, and that's fine because I learned from these books. And one of the books I learned that did you know that there are 12,000 different species of sea moss? Did you know that? I sure didn't. I thought it was just one. First name C, last name Moss. I thought it was just one. Mr. Sea Moss. That was it. Man, it's 12,000. So understand, I want to do a little math. Just a little, not a lot. I'm psychology background, okay? Little math. 12,000 species of sea moss. So if I decided to learn about every species every day, that's 12,000 species. It would take me 32.8 years to figure out every single species, to know about every single species. 32.8 years. I want you to think about how many options we actually have. So right now, if we're looking at 12,000 plus 52, that's 12,052 options, perspectives we can have. And that's just talking about CMOS and black and white thinking. That's it. We ain't even talking about all this other shit out here. We always have different options. You can always do things differently, but I can't if I can only see one or two things. I hope this is helping somebody. I hope. So understand that there are no rules besides the ones that we create. I created a lot of rules around my life, specifically being a black male in America. And those rules, a lot of them don't work for me anymore. A lot of them do. A lot of them still keep me alive. Please no. Because 99.9% of the time, I am authentic. That 0.1% is when I get pulled over by the police. I got to shift some shit up. Why? Because it gives me better protection. Why? It makes me less threatening. Why? Because some people have a habit of telling you who you are. And a lot of police that has killed black men told them who they were. But when instead of words, they use weapons. There's no other reason besides belief. Let me know otherwise. There is no other reason besides belief. Think about the black man being killed by cops. What's the belief? I was under attack. My life was threatened. That's a belief. It's not a fact. It's a belief. It's not a fact. Me in Nordstrom, belief. Me at the university, belief. Me at the lake, belief. People can give you their belief all day long. Sometimes it could end things. But you are allowed, you have permission to share your belief as well. There are no rules besides the one we create. I appreciate you all for listening to my story, for hearing me share my truth. Don't leave this episode here. Give it away. Share it with people who you know could hear it. Share it with people who you think couldn't handle it. Share it with anybody that you feel as though, yo, I know somebody who know. I know somebody who shared this. I know I'm your guy. Send it out. Okay. Subscribe, like, comment. Let's talk. This is a community I'm building. So dive in, dump in. Don't be afraid. It's happened to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't care who you are. Even a white person, happened to you too. So white people, y'all not excluded. Okay. So it happens to us, meaning people. And if I choose to become the best version of me possible, I'm very mindful of who people are and who I think they are. And more often than not, I have the privilege of asking. The black privilege. This has been another episode of the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for the king or queen or person that we're supposed to become. Much love to you all. Take care of you. Create a black box. Express some black privilege. Have a black ass day. Peace.
Feeling overwhelmed? Searching for someone who truly gets it? At J. Branch & Associates, we provide mental health support for BIPOC communities, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and others facing unique challenges. We understand the weight of generational trauma, the struggles of identity, and the pressures of being a part of an underestimated and overlooked group. At J. Branch & Associates, therapy isn't a one-size-fits-all. We create a safe, culturally aware space where you can feel seen, heard, and understood. Finding a therapist who truly fits you matters, and that's exactly what we're here for. Our team of highly trained licensed therapists bring compassion, empathy, and real-world experience to help you on your journey to healing and growth. We're committed to helping you become the best version of yourself. Ready to take the next step? Visit us at www.drjbranch.com for more information, or call or text 404-436-2540 to schedule your free 15-minute consultation. You can also book your first session today. Thank you for choosing J. Branch & Associates, therapists of color providing exceptional care to BIPOC communities, quality service, exceptional care from authentic professionals.